You grew up with a narcissistic parent, an emotionally unavailable parent, an immature parent, or just a bad parent, and they were and still are oblivious to their actions and how they treated you. Later on in life, you have two options. You will either snap, your head will pop, and you will tell them about their behaviour, or two, you will cut ties with them altogether. I chose number one. So when we had my daughter, my mother kept asking to take her. Let me take her here, let me do this, let me do this, let me have the baby for the night. And I kept saying, no thank you. This went on for like a year, and she'd say, can I take the baby for a walk? And I'd say, she've already been for a walk today, sorry. I think part of me didn't want to hurt my mother's feelings. But then one day, she said, how do you think I feel when all the women in work tell me they have their grandkids and I don't have mine because you won't let me? So I said, look, you weren't the mother that I needed, so how can I expect you to be the grandmother that my children need? She responded with, I'm a great mother, you should worship me, I put a roof over your head. So I said, look, you worked a lot to provide for your children. Thank you. I appreciate that you worked to put a roof over my head, but you weren't there emotionally for me. The response was, my mother wasn't there emotionally. I brought up the fact that she told me when I was a child that she could never hug and kiss me because her mother never hugged and kissed her. And she said, yeah. And I said, well, because my mother never hugged and kissed me, I always hug and kiss my children because I know how it feels to not have that love. So in your life, if you decide to tell your parents how they acted and how they treated you as a child, they will respond in one of three ways. Number one, you know this one, right? Number one, you tell them something they done to you in childhood and they will say, I don't remember that. Funny that. Number two, they will say you were exaggerating and it didn't actually happen like that. Or number three, like my own experience, they will flip it and turn it all on themselves. The second option for you is to cut ties with your parents. If you don't want the confrontation of telling them how they responded because you know they're a narcissist and they won't take your feelings into consideration, or you just want to cut ties because it would be easier to protect your peace that way. Repeat this affirmation. I can do whatever the fuck I want because I am my own person.